gerontology is a significant issue in our largely retirement community, where a great many of our residents are older than God. My sojourn into geriatrics began when I became an octogenarian in August 2014. I have 9 years to go in this momentous decade, should I live to be 90. Why does 80 sound so much older than 79? It begins a new decade. One keeps track. Can't see, can't hear, can't sneeze without peeing, can't step over a 6-inch curb, can't smell, don't know if you need a bath or should take out the garbage, can't get out of the bathtub without a safety bar, can't rise from a low chair till the third try, can't cry, because after so many years of failures, disappointments, betrayals, and loss, there are no more tears to shed. As a widowed octogenarian, you have no one with whom to dance except at parties when some kind elderly gentleman asks you to dance and waltzes to beach music. At 80, one must buy clothes that zip, button, or tie in front, and wear shoes you do not have to lace, because you cannot reach your feet even sitting down. Forget trying to pull on jeans unless they're 2 sizes too big, and even then you must sit down to get your legs in the right holes. Whereas you used to be able to dress to go out in 15 minutes, it now takes an hour and a half. Consequently, at home alone, you're inclined to stay in your pajamas all day, disinclined to go out. Besides, when you do go out with friends to dine, you get more food on your clothes than you do in your mouth. One is reluctant to engage in conversation because people look at you in such a way that you know what was in your brain did not come out your mouth. Or one repeats the answer to the first question while missing the second question entirely. The telephone rings so seldom that when it does, you think, what the hell is that? To avoid loneliness and depression, one snarfs chocolate all day, and friends think you're on alcohol or drugs. Well, chocolate is a drug, actually, a seed-induced mood elevator. At 80, if you're not careful, you will spend more money at the Estee Lauder counter than at the grocery. Besides, all that hype about erasing wrinkles, toning skin, and removing liver spots is a bunch of lies. Beware, too, of medical complications of facelifts and Botox. For mercy's sake, don't dye your gray hair black. It emphasizes every rut, wrinkle, scar, and mole on your face and makes your neck look like cooled lava. In a new place or when shopping or traveling, one's first concern is to determine where the toilets are and how many steps it takes to get there. And although you carry Kleenex in every available pocket, purse, sleeve, or cleavage, it is impossible to retrieve one when needed, which is often. It is not unusual either to be out in public and realize your slip is longer than your dress. While I can think of many other handicaps, being old, I must acknowledge it is preferable to the alternative. Some advantages do accrue to offer consolation. You can say or do just about anything because people overlook it as senility and forgive you. You can get by with murder. As an octogenarian, you find that men do not look at your cleavage and legs anymore. Rather, they look into your eyes to see if you're still there. And if you're not vacant-eyed, scowling, sharp-tongued, slack-jawed, or mouthing obscenities, they say, "Isn't she sweet?" While thinking, "Look at her, still clinging to life in spite of hell." In some cultures, especially certain African societies, the elders control the social life of the community. I believe this is true in Tryon. In some enlightened societies, old folks are revered and treated kindly. Australians call the elderly darling wrinklies. Americans can be kind to old ladies, especially if they were active church persons in earlier days. Women buy you things because they feel sorry for you in your tailored retro clothes and think you're too poor to keep up with fashions. Further, it seems a lot of people like to hug old folks. I think it is because old folks are soft, like when we were children in our mother's lap. Before muscle tone definition became the rage, and activities such as Pilates, curves, yoga, toning equipment, and saunas dotted the landscape. It's like hugging a feather pillow. However, these perks hardly compensate for what one has lost to the pell-melling years. Recently discussing octogenarianism with an astute friend, I opined that rebellion against old age could lead to clandestine illicit sex. And it would be all right if word got out because no one would believe it. My friend replied that such conduct was highly unlikely unless the man were a lot younger. In such circumstances, I think the man is called a toy boy, a boy toy, and the woman a cougar. That's not so bad. I've always liked big cats. Oh boy, could I have a double entendre field day with that one? But I won't, because I'm a nice person and would hope after so many years to exercise greater wisdom. Old age does not necessarily equate with wisdom, of course. Some folks stay stupid their whole lives. Besides, I've often wondered why God chose to bestow wisdom in old age rather than at 16 when we needed it. Considering the pros and cons of octogenarianism, I have come to a conclusion voiced by the great folk singer Joan Baez. You don't get to choose how you're going to die or when, Joan said. You can decide how you're going to live now. So I suggest we take Joan's advice. Live now and strive and hope and pray to do so with courage, purpose, integrity, and love.